We're going to pull out these Kimberly ferns here. We're also going to pull out the obelisk that is over here in this area. And our Kimberly ferns, we are not going to be throwing these away. We are going to overwinter our Kimberly ferns. Kimberly ferns are not hardy in my area, but they are definitely an easy plant that you can overwinter, especially if you have a shed somewhere to give them some cover, if you have a heated garage. In my case, I do have a heated garage, so the Kimberly fern will be going there. So let me show you my setup and what all we're going to be using. But before we do that, we have to get the Kimberly fern out of this container, and you can see that it is absolutely loving its life in this container. Absolutely loving its life. While we are over here in this area, we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean out this container right here. Laura already cleaned out this container when she was weeding over here in this area. So she went ahead and she pulled out the cabbages that were in this container right here. So let's get started. First thing, we got to get this obelisk out of here. I'm praying that it doesn't turn into a headache, but I absolutely love this look. But it's time. It's definitely time to go ahead and make that transition to the next look. All of the Kimberly ferns have been taken apart. Now what we're going to do is, it's real easy and simple, and I like to have a yard waste bag close by when I do this part of it. You want to come in, cut down your ferns, and this also works with Boston ferns as well. Cut them down, and this is how you're going to store them. Now, it's several different things you can use to store them. Just make sure you're putting them in somewhere that's going to give them more protection than they would have outside. And let's go ahead and get the rest of these processed really quick. Take this piece of cardboard box and we're going to line the bottom. We're just going to set every last one in here. This is how everything is going to fit on the inside of the basket here. I do go ahead and I leave the sides open. You can put the cardboard on the side, but I like to have air movement throughout because I don't want fungus, I don't want mold. So I make sure that I leave a little bit of air flowing through. Sometimes I will go ahead and put a fan on them. These are going to continue to be watered. I will come in maybe about 3 times a month, maybe 4, and I'll go ahead and just lightly just water these. Sit them outside on maybe a warmer day. Now, as the winter becomes a lot colder, I won't be bringing them outside, but I will go ahead and just put a light dusting of water, and I mean the very slight of the trickle I'll go ahead and put over the top of these, and then they'll be ready for us to use next year. Is one less plant that we have to buy next year for our next year's show. So I'm very excited. I'm not going to put these inside of the garage right now. I'm going to let them sit out a bit. That way, if it's any critters that's harboring on the inside of them, they'll go ahead and crawl out because they won't have the habitat that they necessarily had before. Prior to putting them inside of the garage, I will go ahead and I'll do an application of spinosad, or I'll spray them down with some type of spinosad prior to putting them away, because that's going to help assist in killing off the moth that likes to take over and can basically chomp down all of your ferns. So this is how I overwinter my ferns. So I'm just going to set them off to the side for right now. Now we are going to come back in with another application. We have the obelisk that's out right here, and I am going to focus on just the largest planter for right now, and we're going to give it a little bit of transitional color. Right now our soil reservoir is low, so we will have to go in and add some more soil. We have a peanut on the inside of here. Comment below and let me know, when you pull your containers, do you ever see these peanuts on the inside of your containers? What we'll do is we will pull soil from each one of these containers, if not both, and we'll just fill back up our reservoir, and then we'll start building up our container. All filled up. We only use one of the containers. The other container right here is still full. Since this was the bottom of the soil and this container right here, that allowed us to have nice, beautiful soil. Look at that. It's almost like it's brand new. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this obelisk on the inside of our home, and we'll go ahead and get the plants that's going to go into this container right here. I am also going to pull this obelisk as well and go ahead and get it into storage. In this arrangement, we are going to be using some cyclamen. Now, oftentimes I get asked about like how I care for my cyclamen. One of the things you want to make sure is that you don't let your cyclamen dry down, because if you do, this is what is going to happen to them. The flowers are going to kind of just lay down and you'll start to see some yellowing of the leaves, but it is an easy fix. So what we're going to do, we're going to hydrate the cyclamen. While they're taking up the water, we're going to make a quick run to Lowe's and we are going to pick up some fall bulbs, because I'm in the middle of preparing for one of my shows for next spring. So I'm in need of 2 different type of bulbs. So let's go ahead and head to the store, grab some of the fall bulbs. Hopefully they have them there. If they don't have them there, we'll certainly head to another store, because I have to get those planted up. Actually, I have to get those planted up today in order to be on schedule for my show for next year. So everything is very strategic. Everything is very methodical when I'm planning up my spring show and the different displays that I like to do. So let's go ahead and make a quick dash to the store. I'm looking for some hyacinth as well as some muscari. Here's some muscari right here. So I just need one more of these. They're $7.98 for 24 plants. For $14.98, here's the mix that I'm looking for, because you get the yellow, a magenta color, a periwinkle blue, a white, and a pink. So I just need one of these. So it's 14 plants total. So
I promise you. Damn.
I totally love this. We're going to use 4 of the birch logs in this container. You can use 3 if you want to. I wanted to go with 4. We're going to underplant the birch logs. Now let's go get the plants and pop those in really quick. The cyclamen is standing up more than what it had been. It's still looking pitiful, I'm not going to lie, but I'm confident by in the morning it's going to be standing up. It's not going to stop the show. We're going to go ahead and get this planted up. So let's go ahead and grab this, start working on this arrangement. cyclamen is popped in. I came in with just 3 cyclamen. Now I could have came in and added a 4th one back there to the back. Was not interested in doing that. I wanted it to be just underplanted in this space right here at the bottom. We do have quite a bit of soil showing around the perimeter. Now, I do like that look in some scenarios, but in this scenario, what I want to do is let's go cover this up with moss. We might have to fashion some things together in order to fill out this container because it is pretty large, the perimeter here. So let's go and see what we can scrounge up here, because I think it'd be really, really nice if we have a beautiful contrast between the foliage here. I'll make sure to definitely show you all what these look like once they're standing up. To be quite honest, I really kind of like them just slumped over a little bit. It gives it a little bit more versatility, but I really like them in their natural state. So absolutely beautiful. So if you are using cyclamen inside of your transitional containers or inside of your winter containers and you start to see them lay down like that, go ahead and give them a good watering, and then in no time they'll be standing back up. As far as moss, we do have this brown moss that we can come in and use. It'll create a great juxtaposition with color. So we're going to grab this, but we are also going to grab this moss that's right here. So we're going to need a lot of moss in order to make this work. And let's go ahead and grab, this is not the color that we actually need or the type, so we'll put this back. But I thought I had a bag in here. One of my good girlfriends, she came over and she wanted to borrow some supplies. Here it is. So we'll use this sheet moss right here. So we have our bags of moss. The 3 of these should definitely be enough, hopefully, to go around this cyclamen. Let's go get it in. About changing the siding and the color on our home, I was thinking about going with white versus the tannish gray color that we have right now. Drop down in the comment box. So I would keep the black trim, but then I will go with the white. So let me know what you think about it. I would love to hear what your opinion is on the siding here. Now let's get in and look at these containers, because I'm totally loving what I'm seeing here. Totally love it. Absolutely love it, baby. It eats, honey. It eats. Yes. Look at that. All the way up to the top. The birch logs, the contrast up against the house. I absolutely love that. Totally love it. And so I came in, you will see in places where I have overlapped my moss. I love that look, because when you look at moss in its natural state, it's never just slick across. You see textures in it, and when I tuck it, a lot of times I'll have some like overlapping, like it's kind of climbing up the wall, if you will. Like right here, I leave little spots open like that, like the small little nuances that kind of makes it look like it's natural. Although you and I both know that I sat here and I curated this look, but I totally love it. It's clean, and the containers at the bottom, they are also cleaned out. Although I do need to make sure, let me move this container over a bit. Dag, I had this position just right to where, oop, let's see, there we go. So it's not leaning. So Comment below, let me know what you think about it. We're starting to get that natural green patina on the side of our concrete container here. Absolutely just love this look here. I'm going to just water this in really quick. And when I water, I do water my moss, because you're going to definitely see a difference to how your moss look when it's dry and when it's wet. And when you water in your moss, it actually helps it keep color and formation. The rest of the water I'm going to put on the inside here for the 3 cyclamen. So I'm just going to put it centralized. Now, can you see how different the moss looks once you come in and you water it? Looks absolutely different. And you can apply your moss wet, because it's going to help it conform to whatever type of container that you're using if you apply it wet. So it gives you a different type of application when you use your moss wet versus when it's dry. This is what it looks like when it's wet. Can you see the difference here? Absolutely love it. Totally love it.